Do you want to know what the top 5 ETFs are in Ray Dalio's portfolio over at Bridgewater Associates? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you right now. What's going on, everybody? How are you? Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the most recently filed 13F with Bridgewater Associates. In case you don't know, Bridgewater Associates is the largest hedge fund in the world, and the face of that is the founder of it, and the face of it, of course, is Ray Dalio. And they actually, if you don't know, Ray Dalio's got a very interesting perspective, and it's actually quite a bit different than, let's say, Warren Buffett. For example, the most recently filed 13F, which was done in May of this year, 2022, for holdings as of March 31st, so Q1 2022, there are 936 holdings in that. And then if you take a look at Warren Buffett, for example, Berkshire Hathaway, there's only 37 holdings. So very different. I've actually heard Ray Dalio say something that I really thought about, and it kind of still makes me think, but I've heard Ray Dalio say, you become the most successful from what it is that you don't know. Now, I don't really know if I agree with that statement. I think that's kind of very deeply philosophical, but I think that if you take a look at Ray Dalio versus Warren Buffett and their businesses, you'll see kind of, you'll really see his strategy related to that statement, right? So Bridgewater Associates, here they have 960 plus holdings, right? So they're extraordinarily diversified, with their hedge fund. So they want to, first of all, they want to make sure that they are diversifying so that they don't have any sort of extreme risk with anyone holding. But at the same time, they don't really want to miss out on anything as well, right? Whereas Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, they only have 37 positions. And obviously, Warren Buffett's one of the wealthiest people in the world and one of the best investment managers of all time. So it seems fairly, it seems like a fairly interesting statement that Ray Dalio thinks that you become the most successful from what it is that you don't know. Again, I don't know if I really feel like I relate to that statement too much, but I can see from 960 plus positions that he has at Bridgewater Associates that it makes sense that they have a very extreme focus on not missing out on anything, and then certainly having a very huge focus on diversification and not having any one position be too much of a percentage for them. But in any case, what we're going to do, I'm going to take you into the 13F. I'm going to show you the top 4 ETFs that Bridgewater Associate has, and what's interesting, the top 5, right? What's interesting is the top 6 positions are these 5 ETFs. There is Procter & Gamble in there, which is a stock, but the top 5 positions are these ETFs. What's going on, everybody? My name is John. I do videos on investing and also some videos on credit. You're also going to see I'm doing more content on short and medium-term vacation rentals on Airbnb and VRBO. I personally have done 700 plus short and medium-term vacation rentals over the years, over many years, over with many properties here in Southern California. I'm coming out with a lot more content on that. I'm also going to be coming out with some programs and some services related to that industry. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in, okay? All right, so here we are. As you can see, we are right here, and this is the Bridgewater Associates LP Q1 2022 13F. You actually go to the bottom, 968 entries. So that's 968 positions that they have. So if you take a look at the top one, the top holding is Vanguard International Equity Index. Then the second one is Procter & Gamble. We're not going to really talk about that today. The next one is the iShares Inc., symbol IEMG. Then the third largest ETF, which is their 4th largest holding, is symbol EEM, which is again iShares as well. These are all, by the way, emerging markets fund. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into each one of these, except for the 5th one, because it's basically the 5th one is SPY, right? So the 4th one is, like I said, it's symbol EEM, and then the last one is SPY, Spider S&P 500 ETF. That is actually the largest S&P 500 ETF index fund in the world. And it used to be maybe 2021 at some point. It was Bridgewater Associates' largest position, #1 position, but it's not anymore. So that kind of goes without saying. It's basically an index of the S&P 500. I don't think I really am going to cover that in terms of any sort of stock price or anything like that in this video. It kind of goes without saying. It's pretty obvious. Again, it is the largest in terms of assets. S&P 500 ETF in the world, and it's State Street Bank. Okay, so what we have here is we have this one right here, which is VWO, and again, that is their number one largest position at 1,047,979,000, right? That is the Vanguard Emerging Markets Stock Index Fund, VWO. And if you take a look at it, what's interesting is each of these top three, they're not SPY, right? They all seem very, very similar. And we go down further, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the actual top 10 holdings of these. It says here, top 10 holdings, 20% of the total assets. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, Tencent Holdings, Alibaba, Taiwan Semiconductor, Reliance Industries, Meituan, Infosys, China Communications, Val, Media Tech, right? So right there, that is Vanguard Emerging Markets Stock Index Fund, VWO. If we take a look at their summary, we can see they got about $100 billion in net assets, and we got their 52-week range of 40 to 54. So they're pretty much right there at the bottom of their 52-week range. ETFs are, in a way, really nice to have when it comes to turbulent markets like we're in here. It's June of 2022. It's actually the end of June of 2022. And when things are turbulent, ETFs are great because you get that broad exposure. You don't have as much, well, typically, you're not going to have as much downside as you would if you're investing in the actual stocks, right? So if we take a look at the next one, which is the second largest ETF for Bridgewater Associates, its symbol IEMG, which is the iShares Core MSG Emerging Markets. Emerging Markets, again, what you're going to see with their holdings is it's almost the same or like extremely similar to what I just read you. Again, these are the top 10 holdings, 21% of the total assets. Taiwan Semiconductor, Tencent, Alibaba, Samsung Electronics, Meituan, Reliance, again, Infosys, Val, China, and then JD.com, right? JD at 0.72%. So almost the same, not identical, but almost all the same companies there at about 22% of the total net assets. Again, another emerging markets. And here we have the third. Oh, let's take a look at their summary real quick. So we got a 52-week range of 48 to 67. So right there, they're pretty much right there at the bottom of that 52-week range. Again, right now in the very volatile, turbulent times of June of 2022, it's been extremely volatile and stocks going down pretty much all of the first half of this year, right? So right there within a few percentages of the 52-week low for the symbol IEMG, iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets. Now here we have the number 3 is symbol EEM, which is iShares MSCI Emerging Markets. Again, it's not the same one, but it's another emerging markets ETF that they have. So if we go down to the holdings, we got 24.9, so we use 25% of the actual holdings of the ETF. Here we go. Taiwan Semiconductor, number 1. Tencent, number 2. Alibaba, number 3. Samsung, Meituan, Reliance, Infosys, Val, China, JD. So looks like almost the same to me. I'm sure that there's some differences in the 75% that's not the top 10 holdings. But they're all pretty much all 3 of these top 4 ETFs are emerging markets, and those are the ones for the top holdings for Bridgewater Associates. And as you can see, the 52-week range of 38.95 up to 55. So right there, just a few percentage points of the bottom of the 52-week range for that one. And again, everybody, like I said, the 4th largest holding for Bridgewater Associates is SPY, which again, that's State Street Bank, and that is the largest S&P 500 ETF index fund in the world in terms of total assets is that Spider fund. And it was about, at some point in 2021, I do know that Ray Dalio and Bridgewater Associates, their largest position was, was that Spider 500 SPY SPY ETF. Hopefully you guys like that. If you enjoy seeing interesting news updates or interesting updates and ideas related to investing, not just stock investing, also real estate. Again, also I'm a developer as well, and like I said, I've done 700 plus short and medium-term vacation rentals all here in Southern California. Go ahead and consider subscribing. Give the video a like if you liked it. Again, I'm coming out with ideas pretty much multiple times a week on this channel. And a little background about me, everybody. I do have a background in investing. My first job out of college was Merrill Lynch. I did some investment banking after that, and then worked for Sun America here in Los Angeles for 3 years. I've been investing in stocks since about 1989. I've got quite a few, I think 10X's to my track record. A lot of those 10X's are actually no longer 10X's because of the first 6 months here in 2022. But a couple of them, Netflix was my first 100X return, Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, and then one other after that. I'll remember at some point. But anyway, hopefully you guys like that. And again, if you like those ideas, you can let me know. Subscribe, give the video a like. If you also have a question, be sure to put that in the comments area. Thank you very much and have a great one.